Okay, so we've hammered home the point that protein is really going to be the cornerstone of every single meal that you sit down to eat. But protein is not the only thing I want you to eat. I want you to also have some carbohydrates in your meal as well. Now, there's two types of carbohydrates. There are complex, starchy carbohydrates, things like rice, potatoes, pasta, and bread. You want to include those on a very moderate to minimal level. What I would prefer you do to get your carbohydrates into your system and into your diet would be to get them from fibrous carbohydrate sources, basically fruits and vegetables. Again, your goal with any fat loss program is to maintain a steady blood sugar, to maintain a hormonal state, and fibrous carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, are going to help you do that a lot easier than will the complex starchy carbohydrates. Now, when you do have complex starchy carbohydrates, I want to encourage you strongly to make sure that they are from the better sources. So, for example, sweet potatoes or yams would be better than white potatoes. Brown rice would be better than white rice. Whole grain toast or bread would be better than enriched white bread. Or whole grain pasta, whole wheat pasta would be better than regular white pasta. So there are better choices you can make when you do choose starchy carbohydrates, but again, you don't want to have a monster plate of rice or a monster plate of pasta or a massive amount of potatoes. You want to have these foods in very moderate to minimal quantities, but they are okay for you to include in your fat loss program. Now, the second type of carbohydrate are your fibrous carbohydrates. These are things like fruits and vegetables. And again, you see a long list here in the document which I provided for you. So these you can actually be more liberal with because these are lower calorie, higher fiber foods. They actually have a benefit to your fat burning program. So we've talked about protein, we've talked about carbohydrates, and third and finally, we are going to talk about fats. Now, fats do not make you fat. Just for the record, you actually need fat to burn fat, believe it or not, but it's got to be the healthy fats, which I've listed here in the document. Healthy fats would include healthy oils like olive oil or coconut oil. Avocado contains healthy fat. Flaxseed or flax oil contains healthy fat. Fish and a lot of the seafood contains healthy omega-3 fats. Of course, you can get a fish oil supplement to get your healthy fats in there. Almonds, walnuts, anything from the nut family, those would also contain healthy fats. A lot of the seeds, they also contain healthy fats as well. So notice that you're not really going to have a massive portion of these fats in your diet, but these are usually supplementary or complementary foods that you would add to your main food. So you might drizzle a little bit of olive oil dressing over a chicken salad, or you might have a little bit of avocado on the side of a meal, or you might sprinkle some sliced almonds on top of a meal. That's how you're going to add your fat. You can actually add a fair bit. You can actually be pretty liberal with adding these healthy fats, but you want to avoid the unhealthy fats. Unhealthy fats, again, I won't go into too much detail here, but if you read below, you want to avoid two types of fats. Number one, saturated fats. That usually comes from animal products, like the skin on a chicken would be a saturated fat. Bacon would be full of saturated fat. Lard, butter, those things would be full of saturated fats. You also want to avoid trans fats. Trans fats are simply man-made fats that are in a lot of processed foods and junk foods. So that box of cookies that is maybe in the cupboard or you see at the store, those aren't natural fats. Those are false fats. Those are man-made fats. Your body has no clue what to do with those, and so they get stored away in the tummy and in other areas that don't look good and don't feel good to you. So you want to stick with the healthy fats, avoid the unhealthy fats, and make sure that you're getting a little bit of protein, a little bit of healthy carbohydrates, and a little bit of healthy fats in each meal that you sit down to. If you do that, you'll intuitively balance out the nutrients in your meals.